What you doing, Diglett Dreamers? You got Mathers back with a Scarlet and Violet theory discussion video. And I'm not alone today. I got a longtime friend of the channel. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Quinlanding.
Hey yo, Quinlanding just landed in.
Finally back after a long time.
It's been a hiatus.
Yeah. I've been doing videos like once a week almost for a little while now, and it's been kind of a slow growth back.
I
Anyway,
got a video recommended today from the channel. I got the
oh,
wildcard Mew recommended
oh
again
no way.
today. I watch it like every
I
year,
think,
so
yeah, I think that is has I think it has taken the spot as the most viewed Diglett Dreams video.
it just keeps
I think
fighting.
so. Yeah. But anyway, we are going to be talking about some Scarlet and Violet stuff today.
Yes.
We're going to not gonna talk about any new Pokemon. We might cover a few new moves and stuff, but we're going to try to avoid spoilers as much as possible
Yeah.
because
And
we
we're
are
definitely not
also,
revealing any new Pokemon
yeah,
because we don't know any new
we
Pokemon
we
until
don't,
we
we
get
have been avoiding as much as we can too because we want to enjoy our first experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, some Pokemon get some new moves. Obviously, Terra Blast is a new move, so some things might come up. So if that is
That's probably
something
gonna
that
come up. Terra Blast.
worries you, then maybe save this video for a few days from now.
If you don't
But
want us to spoil Terra Blast for you, we
oh,
just did.
oh no,
No. But the point of the
yeah,
video, Matthew, is take it away.
is to kind of discuss more so the impact that terastallization will have on the competitive scene and team building, and it's kind of something I feel like not a lot of people are talking about, right, Quinlanding?
People are talking about Terra like concepts, like individual mons,
Right.
but people aren't they're missing the essence of it, right? Which is that
Mm-hmm.
you have 6 Terramons at all times until
Yeah.
you choose one.
Right.
You have 6.
Yeah. So it's going to be a huge part of team building in Gen 9, where each Pokemon needs a little more consideration as to what their Terra type will be, and
And
you
it
may
might not
not.
be a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
might not
may.
be crazy, but like you're gonna probably want to
Yeah.
think about it at least a little.
At least a little. Uh, So as you can see on your screen here, I got a lot of things here. I got this big box here is just kind of my random thoughts and ideas about what kind of terastallization you can use, and then we
Just
got a
take
bunch of
Terra.
Gen 8 teams here, just to kind of get a kind of a thought process going on, like what. Maybe we'll take a look at these teams and say what would each of these Pokemon want to terastallize into.
Yeah,
Um,
and who would be the main Terra Pokemon? Like
right.
that's actually a good one to look at right there, the rain one that you had.
Right, yeah, let's pull it up. So this
Because I
is
think
pretty standard rain.
yeah, looks pretty standard. I think the obvious candidate for Terastallization is Barrascuda.
Yeah,
That's like your main guy because you're going to want
right.
to stack all those bonuses: the rain
Mm-hmm.
damage, the stab, the Terra
Terra
stab.
Stab, yeah. So, oh yeah, I guess we should mention we're also going off the assumption about how some of this works because none of it's really confirmed yet, and we haven't really looked into exactly how it works because of spoilers.
Yeah.
Uh,
One
so,
thing somebody was
yeah.
saying, so interesting. Somebody, I think it was like a super effective podcast or something. They were talking about like, oh man, I can't even remember. I had the idea in my head and then I totally forgot. Anyway,
No worries.
so
Well,
liquidation is going to be the spam move here. So you're going to want to
yeah,
do Terra Water on Barrascuda. Like you're
right.
going to want to stack the choice band plus the rain plus all those
All
things
the stab,
onto
yeah.
liquidation.
It's going to be
That
so
makes
strong.
sense.
Yeah,
That's what you're gonna see as like a really main strategy, I think, is stuff like that.
yeah. Just,
But then,
yeah. Well,
like
speaking of
Groudon,
that, yeah, like
Groudon, for
adaptability too.
example. Yeah, I think this one is a kind of a toss-up. I mean, you clearly would want to go. Oh, I just remembered. So
Okay,
basically,
okay,
like
okay.
they were saying like if it will be possible right away for every single Pokemon to have every single Terra type, because like you presume that at
Mm-hmm.
least the ones you can encounter in game, they will be like random,
Right.
but there might be some that you can't encounter that way, and then that might be not random. But then again, if you breed them, that might be random. So
Yeah, so there's a lot we don't
you
know.
might see some illegal combinations, like
Right.
after a while, you know.
Like we don't. Is it just like hidden power? Like you can do any of them, or are they only gonna
Oh
have
yeah,
certain ones? Like I've heard. I remember
like the
hearing that,
Charizard.
like the Charizard, like there's gonna be like a Dragon Terastallization Charizard event,
Mhm.
like a couple weeks after release. But I remember hearing that, like one person's theory was that you can only terastallize into the type of moves that you learn or something like that. So that, I mean, there's
Okay.
lots of different.
I don't think that's gonna be it either. I just think it's gonna
Yeah.
be that there are some, you know. Okay, here's my example, right?
Mhm.
So like, it's like how if you want to run the like event extreme speed
Oh yeah.
legendary beasts, they
Mhm.
need to be shiny and they need to have like a rash nature, like
Yeah,
those
yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of like thing where like, okay, yeah, you can use Charizard, but every Charizard, at least until a certain point in the game,
Mhm.
every single Charizard will only be able to be Dragon Terra type because you
Yeah.
can only get that one. They even said that it's not available in the region, but of course you could trade one from a different game eventually with
Mhm.
home.
Mhm.
You could breed one, maybe. I don't know how that works,
Yeah, that makes a lot
but
of sense.
interesting stuff. Interesting stuff.
And that does also, like, for me, the question that just came up, like, okay, this is going to be a very rambly video, but anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
the thought that just came to my mind is when you transfer like a Pokemon from an older game into Scarlet and Violet, is it just going to be assigned a Terra type, or like what's the
Yeah, it'll
deal?
probably be based off the hidden power types, right? I mean, plus
Yeah,
normal.
yeah,
They'll have to do
and there,
something.
but there's no fairy hidden power either, right?
Oh, true.
So like that is a little
Yeah, but I'm
weird.
sure there's some stat distributions they could break off, and
Yeah,
I don't know how they would do it. They could also
yeah,
just
it's weird,
randomize it. It
right?
could be based off your trainer number or something. Like, who knows?
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, there's a lot we don't know.
Yeah, which is exciting, and I think this is.
Yeah.
I think that this is the most excited I've been for a Pokemon game
Oh yeah, for
since
sure.
like I was a child.
Yeah.
Definitely excited.
Yeah.
But
There's
so
yeah.
okay. This is funny because it's not exactly the example I was thinking of, but thought on right now. Would you choose water or dark? I think I would probably choose water in this case because you have both Aqua
Right.
Jet and Liquidation,
Yeah, because
and
it's
also the rain.
rain. Yeah. So that like yeah, it's more of a toss up if it's not rain, but since it is rain, it seems
Yeah,
pretty yeah. And like
I was thinking. I think a lot of the time, Pokemon that have a, like stab, like dual stab, and then a coverage move, and then something. Like most of the time, they'll probably choose to be the
the
same type as the coverage move.
right. So
Like,
boost that
this is
power.
just in just this is more like so. There's lots of situations that you get in where like the lead star of your Pokemon team isn't the one that's sweeping. Something else is sweeping.
Yeah.
And if you potentially have the ability to just end the game there by terastallizing, like it doesn't make sense to save it. Every
Yeah.
one of them should have a strategy that involves its terastallization type because you might choose to use it. Oh,
Right.
you
For
could do a bad
example.
switch and lose your Terra Pokemon,
Right. Yeah.
and
So much
before
can
it
go
ever
wrong.
terastallizes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you gotta have some plan Bs.
Oh, like Terra fighting Seismitoad.
That's
Like
what I was gonna
like
say. Like
bandits.
yeah. So it's got the stab on, or supposedly it's got the stab on fighting. Plus it still has water and ground. Yeah.
A threat. A threat. That could be really interesting. And I do think that strategies like rain, terrains and stuff like that will be I mean, we have no idea if the Tapus are gonna be present or not.
Right.
There are
Yeah.
other terrain setters, but not for everything.
Yeah.
I think those strategies are going to be pretty dominant. I mean, except like Misty
Right.
Terrain, because that doesn't power anything up. That doesn't like.
Yeah. So
I'm
yeah,
interested to
I
see
know
the
it's
new
interesting.
Snowfall stuff.
Oh yeah, I've only vaguely heard about that.
That's
Well,
great.
maybe this is a good
So,
time
but then
to.
even oh, I was going to say pop back in there for a sec.
Oh,
I
okay.
wanted to touch on Ferrothorn as well.
Ferrothorn, yeah.
At
Right.
least because
The
this is a
difference
very
between defensive and offensive.
yeah, this is a very defensive Ferrothorn for sure. It's possible, especially on a I don't know team like this where you might want to go with just pure steel,
Hmm.
but you could get funky with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. See, I think
Right.
for in the case of Ferrothorn, its typing is so good that really the only way
Yeah.
to upgrade it for it would be to become pure steel potentially,
Yeah. And that's
especially because
like,
it keeps
it's,
access to leech seed.
yeah, if you're like up against a fire type or something, or
Mm,
yeah, I don't
yeah,
know.
that's what I was thinking was like maybe you run it Terra Water in the extreme
Mm,
example of a
hmm.
case where you want it to block a fire move.
Yeah. But yeah, it kind of,
That's an extreme
so
case
yeah,
though.
a lot like, Dynamax was a really crazy thing in the beginning of Sword and Shield, but it has kind of, I mean, I don't think it took very long, but it became pretty obvious that like offensive Dynamax was kind of the best way to use it. And like,
Yeah,
if you're like Dynamaxing your Ferrothorn so that you live a hit, like you're probably not in the best situation to start with.
no, that's your back's against the wall already.
Right.
No,
So,
exactly. So what I think people keep saying like, oh, like terrestrialization is going to get banned right away. It's not going
yeah.
to last any time
Yeah.
in Smogon, and I'm like, it's not the same as Dynamax at all.
Yeah.
Dynamax was really broken. It
Oh
it
my gosh.
seriously it gave you a ton of health, like a
Hmm.
ton of health, twice your health, right?
Twice your health. Yeah.
And then it also came with specifically like the max moves that like max airstream.
Yeah.
Being able to raise your speed, giving access to like massive attacks that also raise your speed guaranteed. Like
Yeah.
that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Like a Z move is understated.
Yeah.
Dynamax is overstated. I really think
Mhm.
Terastallization might just be the sweet spot.
Yeah,
I'm
I
hopeful
hope
for it.
so. I hope so because it seems really fun, and yeah, it's been a long time since we've had kind of a fun little gimmick.
Something that
Uh,
actually felt for me. I didn't
yeah,
like Mega Evolution either.
yeah,
So
or Z moves.
even Z moves.
Yeah,
Oh, I just thought Z moves were too one note, and
yeah,
just because like they really could have gone crazy and had it so that each move had its own different special effect. I mean, that would have been too much, you know. But
hmm,
having every move have the same effect was like not enough.
yeah,
So either they needed to do more specific ones or something. But anyway, Z moves never tickled my fancy either, and neither did
yeah.
Dynamax at all. Actually,
No,
really did not like
it
Dynamax
was
more than
just
just the
right.
competitive scene. I think it ruined the whole game basically.
Yeah, like it was
It
so.
had epic moments, but
Yeah,
still.
yeah. Like the Gigantamax was kind of cool sometimes. I think,
Yeah.
but
Oh, here's a thought.
oh, real quick,
Sorry.
in general, oh crap, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, it was like so overpowered, but also so uninteresting. Like it just
Yeah,
simplified everything too much, you know?
big
Yeah.
version. Oh, like, and then that made the fucking animations like twice as long.
Oh god, yeah. Let's not even get into
Ugh.
like battle timers.
Yeah, I'm hopeful for this new one. But anyway, so here's a thought, right?
Hmm.
That is even beyond. So first layer of analysis, just have Ferrothorn become grass or steel, or even dark
Hmm.
in the case of having knockoff.
Yeah.
Second layer of analysis, have it become something that resists fire to save it from its
Right.
one super weakness. And then I think like third layer of analysis, like what if there is some specific Pokemon that Ferrothorn could go from not being able to wall to totally walling if you terastallize into like this would have to be specific and I don't have an example here, but like
Mm.
say going like Terra Electric Ferrothorn, you resist like two things and just completely now you wall this Pokemon that you didn't wall before. You know, something like that could end up being meta. You know,
Yeah. I think so.
like knowing that a certain matchup, a common Pokemon like Urshifu or something, like you go, okay,
Hmm.
I'm gonna go. I don't know, Terra Water, I guess.
Yeah. Or like,
Does anything resist both? No, probably not. I was thinking
no,
water or
that's tough.
fighting. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
honestly that's the thing. Another thing I think people are thinking is like, oh, Terastallization is so strong, but it's like losing your dual type can open you up so much to more weaknesses. Like sometimes it helps, but a lot of the time it opens you up.
Yeah.
And I don't think every single Pokemon is gonna want to go Steel type because I mean, if there's shit running around with Mach Punch, like it's gonna be able to just eat that up.
Right. True. We wanted to talk about the last two remaining Pokemon on this team.
Yeah, we kind of
So,
exhausted Ferrothorn there.
yeah. So like Zapdos, also kind of you could like imagine like a Terra Water Zapdos
Terra
on this
Water.
team.
This is a great example
Yeah.
of potential sweeper
Right.
with with like coverage move that's not the same type as it. Therefore, it could switch that up. We know that Roost is going to be very limited, so you're going to want
Right.
to put that offensive pressure up more than before.
Yeah.
So I definitely think Terra Water. That actually sounds kind of scary now that I'm looking at it. 'Cause,
Yeah.
yeah, it would have maybe more weaknesses because I feel like its typing is incredible. But like,
Yeah.
it's kind of, again, like you said, it's like, okay, you're mostly doing Barraskewda, but in the event that Zapdos is on a tear and
Right.
it just needs to power through this one thing
Right.
that is weak to water, but it needs that 10% more or something, like you just tear
Right.
it. Boom.
Like if it's some like I don't know, maybe like a bulky ground type. I don't know, Garchomp, just off the top of my
Or
head. Maybe
some
like
about to rip you with a rock slide or something,
Right,
and you want to move it, and so you just go water to avoid it,
yeah.
to avoid the one hit KO, and then you KO back with your move.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, so it can be, it can, you know, straddle that line between offense and defense too, which is not to be forgotten.
Which is again what I think makes it so I think it's very. I appreciate the subtlety of it a lot more than I thought I would.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Well
Especially because you keep your old stab. I actually kind of wish the thing where if you did the same type as yourself, you get super boosted. I almost wish that wasn't a thing, but I don't know what else they would do.
Yeah.
If you became the same type as yourself, so I'm for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. Because like I'm guessing that's like how the game is gonna go. Like your starter is gonna have its own type, and like that's how you learn about it, and like it's got to be a little worth it.
Oh, you think that starter's gonna be like a non-standard type? That's interesting. Because I know that apparently like not like whenever you see a random wild Pokemon, like it's gonna be a Terra type it's one of its existing types.
Oh no, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like
yeah, you have to get a special encounter to see one that is not the same type as itself.
Very interesting.
Which is weird, right? Because then it's like kind of de-incentivizes you. Well, not really, because again, we talked about how strong it's going to be to be able to do that. Anyway, Pelipper's turn.
Pelipper,
we talked about everybody else. I do think Pelipper has a pretty, like, there's not a huge case for thinking about this too much. I mean, here, what do? You probably just go Terra Flying.
Yeah.
Because if
Boost
you
that
were
hurricane.
to, for some reason, choose to Terra this, I think this is Pelipper is an interesting case because I think you would almost never ever Terastallize your rain setter.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you lead with it, you Terastallize it to something like Steel, and then you can bring it in way more times over the course of the game because it resists Stealth Rock and stuff. But
and like if you're expecting like an electric move to take you out, you could go something that resists that, even ground. But like I don't know about ground on a water team or a rain
like
team,
but up for getting one shot. But no, I definitely agree.
Yeah, maybe what determines the game is that you keep your rain setter around or something, and that's what ends up being important. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it would be very often.
I think this would be the least often. It's kind of like your support Pokemon is almost never gonna Terra. Maybe your Wall is, maybe your Sweeper is.
Yeah.
And definitely the one that you plan. So it's like it's like when we had to have a Mega on every team just because of how powerful Megas were. So it's kind of like you had like, you know, you have to make that choice first. Who's going to be the one that you consistently Grasslands?
Like, what are you building the team around? Like,
it's gonna be a little more nuanced this time, though. All right, let's check out a team that doesn't have a theme.
Yeah, let's see. This is Sand. I like this team. Like, I think this is a pretty good example of Gen 8 right now.
Especially because like right off the bat, Gorilla Boom.
Gorilla Boom.
You're gonna want to probably just go grass on this one.
Yeah,
like stack up the Grassy Surge plus the Grass type plus the stab.
Plus the priority, like
Miracle Seed on.
I can't even imagine how strong that's gonna be.
Yeah, hopefully, like Lord willing, he's not in the game
God, yeah, please.
Really, I find it already to be kind of because it's kind of like Rillaboom to me went from this like kind of really fun like versatile Pokemon to like this extremely spammed.
Just like you might as well just run one move on this thing.
Yeah. It's just like I'm happy to. I would be happy to see some nerfs to this thing, but we'll see.
For sure.
Yeah, I think you know, there's also potential here though with the 2 coverage moves that you
Yeah.
might go dark or because you would get your
Mhm.
swords dance up.
Yeah.
Maybe you go. I don't know if you go fighting because like if you go fighting, you're still weak to flying. I don't know how
Yeah.
relevant that is.
Right. It'd probably just come down to like how weakened is the opposing team? Like, are they all just going to go down to a mega strong grassy glide, or is there something like a steel type that you need a little more power to break through with like a stab drain punch or something?
Yeah, or even like you
You,
know that you're gonna lose that little,
yeah,
you know, that war where you knock off and like they live it with enough such that the next knockoff isn't gonna even do
right.
half.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe you could power up the archetype and bust through that.
yeah. And plus,
Yeah, that's
maybe in that situation, you might want to do like superpower over drain punch just because it's stronger or something. And oh my
yeah.
god,
I'm
imagine
interested to
like a
see.
stab, grassy terrain, terastallized wood hammer. Like, good lord.
That's gonna be a lot of bonuses stacked, but you know what
Yeah,
answers that? Sap, Sip, or Gudra.
very true.
Sip the sap, my
Oh,
brother.
yeah, that's awesome.
So it's like, and then also I guess you'd have to have like Terra something that blocks dark or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And maybe there's a little Terra war that happens there, but
yeah,
who
yeah.
knows? Interested to see how those things shake out. And
Me too. Yeah.
I'm definitely interested to see who retains knockoff because I know that's one of the
Mm,
ones. Like we all know Scald's getting
Scald.
basically taken out of the game,
Yeah,
but knockoff is distributed more. A lot of things
yeah,
naturally get it. I know Gligar learns it naturally, so like
hmm
if Fly Square's in
yeah.
the game, boom,
And for some reason,
guaranteed.
I always remember that Tangrowth like learns it too.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
so that's always in the game. Like, I remember that thing used to run knockoff before it even got the
Yeah,
buff.
way back when knockoff sucked. Like,
Yeah, which is just weird.
it's funny that they made corrosive gas because it's just like
Yeah.
so bad. It's like knockoff is like the best move possibly in the whole game,
Yeah.
like
That
for a
corrosive
multitude
gas
of
is
reasons.
like kind of cool.
Corrosive gas is like one step above like
Yeah.
complete fast. Yeah, if it had just done like I don't know 50 damage or something,
Yeah.
would have been cool. Anyway,
So let's look at the rest of this team.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
This is a pretty like
This is a lot of
supportive.
consideration, I think, 'cause this is a hyper offense, right? Basically.
Yeah, kind of like bulky offense almost.
Hmm
Like,
hmm
because I thought maybe like I was thinking obviously nasty plat tornadoes could be a big Terra target, you know.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, this
Sure.
one seems a little more like defensive. Like
Little.
you might
Oh
not
well, I mean,
wanna.
hey, boom. Here's an idea. You know, you go max attack. You consider. No, you don't have to go max attack for this, but maybe in certain circumstances with Torn T, you could do uh, bug like
Oh yeah,
Terra bug because you
get
it's
the
coming in over
U-turn.
and over again with Regenerator and U-turn and
Mm,
like hitting really hard.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, that changes this Pokemon to a different set, so that's not doesn't really make sense for what we're doing. But
No.
I
But
think
yeah,
this is a candidate. Like maybe you do like Steel or something. Like
right.
this one, I think
Just
would
get a
be a
little
candidate
extra bulk.
for big bulk. Yeah, the heavy duty boots help a lot though, so maybe you don't really need.
Yeah. But steel does cover a lot of like flying weaknesses, kind
Yeah,
of, right?
that's true. It
So it
does.
is. It's a good option for sure. But yeah, I don't think this would be on the top of your list of things to
Yeah,
terastallize on this
I
team.
also don't think you'd want to necessarily go fire or dark
No, yeah,
because I think Heat Wave's on there because it gets one hit KOs on the things it's there for. You know
right.
what I mean?
Like yeah, it's already doing what it needs to do.
Oh, you know, you could do. Sometimes you might consider Terra Dark as a resistance to Prankster.
Oh my god, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, the little those. There's not a lot of those little interactions with types, but yeah, that's a cool one.
Yeah. Like to block Spore, you just have Terra Grass just in case.
Oh yeah, that's
Like,
yeah. I have not thought about that.
that kind of thing could be tight. Or even blocking
Yeah,
Thunder Wave
yeah,
with Electric
being
or something. Or
electric.
even a burn.
Yeah, just you turn your physical attacker into a fire type and dodge the burn, and then like you still have stab on your other moves, so like you don't even necessarily need it.
You don't even necessarily need a fire move to do that. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
sure, it
exactly.
benefits more,
Yeah,
but
that's.
I think it's possible that certain Pokemon that really are weak to burn
Mm,
could could make use of a strategy like that, which I find
yeah,
fascinating. I
and
wonder what happens
actually,
at the beginning of the turn.
like, imagine like a calm mind booster that becomes a poison type, so it can't be toxic.
Oh my god, dude, this poison
Yeah.
Terra Suicune.
Oh my
Inbound.
god. Oh my god. That's terrifying.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Hmm.
Even steel, I guess. You would rather go steel, but
Yeah.
so what I was
Yeah,
thinking is
right,
like,
steel.
what if a tech becomes, what if toxic spikes becomes really common? So a tech is to like have a poison Terra on your team to like
So absorb
switch,
them.
yeah, to like
Yeah.
to absorb them.
Man, there's that yeah, that's what makes this gimmick so
Yeah,
interesting, is that there's so many different possibilities, and there's like we even just talking about it now, like we've already talked about it for like a couple days before this video, and we're still
yeah,
coming up with new ideas.
yeah, and that's why I think the exercise behind this video is like so important
Mhm.
because it's like you really are gonna have a lot of flexibility with this.
Yeah.
More than people are talking about. It's like it's
Mhm.
easy to be like, oh, Terra Ground Gyarados is going to be really strong.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, it
Yeah,
is
of course.
totally, and I don't know the counter to it yet. I haven't thought about it that much, but like
Mhm.
every other member of that team has a Terra type, and
Right.
it's worth considering.
Yeah.
This one's easy, I think. I mean, you'd pick fire or you pick
Right.
fighting. Like,
And yeah, if you want to swap out protect for like, you know, earthquake, or I think they run thunder punch sometimes, like
oh yeah, the rare
for water types or something. So you could also do that, but yeah,
Manic.
those. I mean, having the fire and fighting is
I like protect.
just so
If
strong.
you're doing lefties and not like,
Right.
you know, I don't even know, like Sash or something, but
Yeah.
it would not be good with Flare Blitz anyway.
Absolutely. I mean, air balloon has been popular.
Air balloon, okay.
Like that is a very, like, to me that's a very interesting like item to mix with Terra typing too. Like, just run a balloon and turn anything into an electric type, and you just automatically have no weaknesses.
Yeah, you're in like a temporary weaknessless state.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
You could do Magnet Rise too, but like
Yeah.
I just don't see that becoming a common strategy because
No.
Magnet Rise only lasts for 5 turns. It's just not really that
And
good.
it takes a whole turn to set it up too. It's
If
just,
you had like Prankster Magnet Rise, like Klefki, maybe.
yeah, maybe,
Like,
but
I
still.
can't imagine that Klefki making it though, because it just gets toxic. Whereas before it would not
Right.
have done.
Exactly.
But then Toxic is also one of those moves that's practically
Right.
gone.
Yeah. Just like pre-home Gen 8, it wasn't a lot of Toxicers.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting.
I'm psyched that the home thing is now, we know like it's gonna be like blocked. Like you can't transfer the moves.
Yeah,
Which I think
that is really
gonna
fun.
make the competitive experience way better and way more interesting.
Yeah, I really
And I'm
hope so.
hoping that they
Yeah.
never bring back the Ultra Boosts.
Oh my god, yeah, please.
Let's check out Mel.
Yeah. So I mean, this thing loves its seal typing. I feel like that's gonna be tough
It
too.
does. It does. And also boosting Bash even higher to being
Oh my
even more
god.
powerful. I mean that's
Holy
like
crap.
not just a linear increase. That's a huge increase because it increases both hits.
Yeah.
So I do think that Melmetal probably wants to do Terra Steel, which is not surprising.
Not surprising.
This could be another candidate for Terra Fire because not like Melmetal getting burned is like a death sentence for it. So
true. Yeah.
Maybe just avoiding burn is enough or worth enough to, like, in 90% of the time you're doing probably Rillaboom on this team. You're not doing any of the other Pokemon. You're stacking up on Rillaboom. But like in the rare event that
say like your Rillaboom gets taken out by Volcarona and you don't want to get burned by Flame Body.
Yeah, you have a butt matchup against like his 3 flying types. Like you don't want to run grass into that. So you're like, okay,
exactly.
Well, this time I'll try, you know, my Terrace Rock Garchomp with Stone Edge. I don't know if that thing has Stone Edge yet. I haven't looked.
It probably does. I mean, I don't know actually. I mean, yeah, looking at
it's
this
the defensive variant.
Yeah.
That's pretty hype. I know this people really like this one.
Yeah.
And you got this far in the video. Here's a little treat. Spoiler: the Garchomp gets spikes.
Oh yeah, I did hear that.
And I think that's going to be an interesting lead set.
It's going to be very interesting. But yeah,
also, I just think it's you know, like you could do Dragon. Does it get Dragon Dance now?
No, it doesn't.
No, it's one of the ones that doesn't, right?
Yeah, it had Scale Shot, but I don't think that's coming through either.
That move is
like I feel like all the Isle of Armor ones, like
and I
like flip turn.
A lot of them are really
Most of
Like,
them weren't that exciting.
I liked
Yeah.
Flip Turn, but
Yeah.
like a lot of the other ones weren't that exciting.
Scorching Sands I will miss though.
Scorching Sands I really liked, especially when they gave it out to weird stuff. That was, and the fact
Yeah.
that they gave it to so many fire types
Fire
for no reason.
types. Yeah.
I like that for sure. But I guess here you would again talk about a defensive typing, like
Right.
steel probably, because you could avoid getting toxic,
Mhm.
and on top of that, you could avoid ice type moves.
Right.
You're still
Yeah.
hitting with stab earthquakes. Like
Mhm.
you're not really out of commission just because you became steel. And plus, the
For sure.
leftovers and rough skin combo against steel. Like
Yeah.
I think steel is a great Terra type for this
Oh
set.
yeah. I mean, yeah, just thinking about like what the best types are is also going to be important. Like steel, and then like fairy, water, dragon, all seem
Yeah,
like
very
very
big.
solid like base options. Just
Yeah,
a lot of
just stuff that has
resistances.
a lot of resistances. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of Pokemon are going to benefit a lot from that. I'm interested to see. I want to run crappy Pokemon that get Quiver Dance, like the like regional bugs and stuff like that. That's what I'm trying
Yeah.
to get behind. I don't know why I said that, but that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, that would
This
be
is a
good.
weird one.
This is
I
a
don't
weird
know
one.
what you do for Slowbro.
Slowbro,
I think
like-
that, again,
Yeah, you like just become just
defensive one.
mono water maybe.
that I was just gonna suggest too. Mono water
Yeah.
seems great because it avoids the dark weakness, it avoids the
Mhm.
ghost weakness, and then it's just so bulky that without
Yeah,
I don't know,
without those
without, like,
weaknesses.
powerful grass or electric move. Honestly
Yeah.
though, I kind of think Bro's gonna be on the bench. Like, I
Right,
think
it lost a lot
without
of stuff.
Scald, without Toxic, without Teleport. I mean, look at this set is annihilated with
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
as soon as the gen starts. So I really think they're gonna take a deep backseat for a while.
I agree, yeah.
Maybe things are gonna get banned out, and then we'll see them come back up. But I just
Mhm.
maybe Regenerator is still that good that people just keep it. Like, who knows? But I
Yeah.
definitely think that
Yeah, it's gonna be
that
interesting.
they're on the bench.
So yeah, I think
Don't even talk about
we've been at it for a little while
Quick
now.
delete. Wait, do something for me. Quick delete on that stall team. Get that out of here.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I was trying to get as much. I was trying
No
to
one
get
cares.
a wide berth of different styles.
I honestly think that stall is. I think it's possibly dead.
I wouldn't mind.
Without Scald, Toxic, and PP from recover moves,
Yeah,
they're in a
it's-
different
it's
place.
a different place for sure.
But
Yeah.
Snow plus Aurora Veil is really crazy. So
Yeah. I mean, we'll see.
Snow boost.
They might figure something out. Those stall
That's true.
players,
those
they're
bad
weaselly.
moves, they'll find some weaknessless Pokemon that they can just spam and abuse.
Yeah. Well,
It's
you know
gonna be
what?
Terra, Electric, Cresselia, just
Oh my
dominating the ladder.
god! Oh my god! No,
It has,
please,
dude,
God.
its move heals its status. And
Oh, its new
recovers it.
move from.
Yeah.
I'm
But
hoping
luckily-
that a lot of those Pokemon, like I don't think the Legends Arceus Pokemon are gonna be in until Home
Yeah.
Connection. So I'm hoping a lot of those Pokemon like Cresselia, Heatran, stuff like that are gonna be in kind of the same boat. Hopefully.
Or like locked behind some kind of Black Star Terra raid type thing.
Right. Yeah. I hope. But yeah, just for them not to be on the showdown ladder would be nice.
Yeah.
I
just gonna
only
be
got
really
a few more minutes here, but I do have a bunch of random
Oh,
things to let's just go into it.
crazy.
So like obviously we already talked a little bit about kind of going for the same going for the same type and just getting a super strong attack like Steel Scizor came to mind. You also are less weak to fire, so it could be nice.
That defense
Yeah.
comes through.
Right. And the same thing with Swampert. Of course, Electric Levitate is going to be kind of a weird combo. Plus, this thing gets Thunder Punch, so
Oh, Thunder Punch.
yeah. So that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah.
And then with these two, I guess losing the Rock type is never bad, right? So
Becoming Gear Dragon, that'd be so fire.
and still getting Stab Head Smash.
Or even just stacking onto Head Smash to make it
Oh
even
my
more
god,
powerful.
yeah, that would be pretty crazy. But then like Solid Rock, just ground type. Too.
I thought
Like,
a lot about Solid Rock.
That is pretty crazy. And then
See a
there's
filter, Mr. Mime.
thought of normal Toxtricity just to have an extra strong boom burst. Like that would be
That's
so
smart.
strong.
That's gonna be actually really legitimate, I think.
Yeah, and then
Yo.
Yeah, water type
The
steam
mega
engine.
heat.
And then I did have Scald on here. That was before we kind of learned that Scald might not be really in the game.
Okay.
So
Get the
it might.
Get the gem in there.
yeah. Right. Yeah. The terrible. Yeah.
Or Terra Blast water. Oh, were you saying make it water type? Because then
Yeah.
that's smart.
So then the
because
steam
it is-
engine still activates, but isn't as detriment.
Yeah. Plus, I didn't know this, but it activates off fire moves too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it
So you
resists
resist both and still get the bonus. Then I got 2 adaptability guys here. I mean,
Oh
pretty
my
self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Like-
Well, do you think it applies to? That's the thing.
That's
we
the,
gotta figure out
yeah,
how that works.
how that works. Does the new typing also get the adaptability boost?
Because if
I don't
that's
know.
the case, put him on ice beam and
Yeah.
put him on
Good lord.
scarf instead, and then goodbye meta,
Yeah,
dude. Oh,
yeah,
I love
for real.
Corian Z.
And then of course, you
Kratos.
know, the classic
The
ground
king.
with earthquake.
king.
You know.
Here's a little treat. He lost power whip, so that's a little
Oh.
bit better.
Okay.
We're not gonna see the P whip, but we
Yeah.
might see any number of.
Yeah,
other
I
things
guess
come
you
out.
could just put like they used to run like
Okay,
Fire
something.
Blast on here or something, right?
Terra Blast flying.
Terra Blast flying. Well, then you wouldn't be
That
around.
actually might be kind of good. but-
Yeah, that's true. I do have that coming up. But
Ooh.
I thought this was super goofy. I was like, how can I make
I
Go
love
Goat
this.
good? But you know,
Go-Goat?
Sap Sipper with water,
Water type.
You
Mhm.
know, you don't actually
Maybe
like.
he can partner with something with grassy
Mm.
pelt, and he can like, you know, what
Yeah,
sucks?
right,
He
that's true,
didn't
that's
get-
true.
He didn't get press, which
Oof.
makes me sad.
That is
Press
sad.
would have been going off, although his defense is 62, so maybe not.
Yeah.
Dude,
anyway,
why is Goat so ungoated? What the heck?
I don't
forgot
know.
it's
Why do
supposed to be
they?
so
Why do they not
bad.
care?
I
But then,
don't
of
know.
course, similar to the Gyarados, you got Flying Heatran.
Oh,
It doesn't get the
actually-
same like obviously Gyarados has Earthquake, but Heatran doesn't have a flying move really. But
I think Terra Flying might potentially be useful here, but again,
Oh,
that
yeah.
would be
it's like
again, Terra Blast.
it's kind of like a permanent air balloon
Talk about
almost.
We didn't
Oh,
really
yeah.
talk too much about Terra Blast, but like
Well,
Terra Blast is
let me tell ya.
really only going to be on a couple of things. It's going to be pretty unlikely to.
That's my placeholder for Terra Blast to make this thing
Max Mania.
actually
Oh, wait.
have a nice stab electric move.
Yes.
And that's
it's
the
finally going to come.
same
to,
thing
or even
here.
just normal, stab normal.
Right on the
or,
facade, yeah, true.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think better than water on electric
Oh, yeah.
cross. Flying, and that'd be pretty.
Electrocross.
Hey, don't make fun of me.
No,
I
no,
don't
no.
like that one.
I was just going for like I had a couple ideas with the water, like
Yeah.
you know, water only has 2 weaknesses. What if you only had one?
Ooh, okay.
And then you know, still on the same thing, like Terra Blast, Fairy, but yeah, not that I'm a huge
Yeah,
fan
okay.
of the Tapus, but
That's
At
smart
least-
though. Like for a guy that
Yeah.
doesn't have coverage of his own type,
right, you
getting
could-
coverage
yeah.
of his own type.
And then
Oh,
yeah,
no, dude, weather ball in the sun.
exactly,
That's nuts.
yeah.
Don't even need Terrain Pulse.
And this was the
Or
last crazy
Terra
one
Blast.
that I thought of, was just get rid of that bad ice typing.
Oh,
And you
give him
still
the
have
liquidation.
liquidation, yeah. So
And he goes to like 130 speed when he breaks the face, so it's
Yeah.
like he really goes off.
Mhm.
That's crazy. Those are some great sets.
yeah, so that was fun.
Noise.
Yeah, I know, noise. That's what I say every time in my head.
SQ noise.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to call it at the end of the video here. That I gotta run. But let us know your thoughts down in the comments.
Seriously.
What crazy things are you thinking of, and are you looking forward to playing some stuff
Jump
on
in
the
the
ladder?
Discord and talk to us. Talk
Hey,
to
yeah.
me about it all day for the next 3 days.
Yeah, this video brought to you by the Diglett Dreams Discord, which you can find
Yeah, big
in the
time.
description down below.
Sponsored by the Glitchx Discord.
And thank you to Quinlanding for hopping on the channel once again.
Oh, it's a pleasure as always.
And till next time, guys, peace out, keep dreaming, and looking forward to some Scarlet and Violet.
Dream on.